Kenshin1913 along with
Mom.
And today we're doing another Cooking with Kenshin1913. What are we cooking today, Ma?
We're cooking chi-chis and rice.
Yes, a delicious dish you can have during the winter because right now
we're in the winter months here in Connecticut, and the last few days have been extremely cold.
Yes.
So we want something that's going to warm the bones up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to use chickpeas, or as we call them, chi-chis.
Yeah.
And it's actually spelled C-E-C-I, or chickpeas. I happen to be using 19-ounce cans.
Yeah, 2 big cans.
Two of them.
Yeah.
But I also buy a different brand that it's a 15-ounce can. So I would again use 2.
Mm-hmm.
That will be enough for about, say, a family of 5, possibly 6. So if you wanted to double the recipe, if you were having a large gathering, you may want to do 4 cans or 3 cans.
All right, what's the other ingredients?
The next thing I'm going to do is we're going to use chopped garlic, pepper, a little bit of salt, olive oil, some extra water, and long grain white rice.
Yeah, and how much of that is that?
That's 1 cup of long grain white rice that we're going to boil in 2 cups of water.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what the ingredients are.
Okay, so the first thing we need to do is you need a pan, a nice saucepan.
This happens to be a 6-quart pan.
Yes, and then we have over here boiling away our thing for rice. Now, what was I gonna say? You can prepare the rice whatever way you want. We usually just boil it, and yeah, you can if you got a rice cooker, go ahead and use a rice cooker, right?
Yes, you can.
All right. So while this is boiling, which it should be doing momentarily, let us start the chi-chis. So.
Okay, what we're gonna do is to add some extra. Any kind of olive oil. This happens to be extra virgin.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to coat the pan. It's probably a couple of tablespoons of oil.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to add about 2 heaping teaspoons of chopped garlic.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to turn it on
low.
Very low, because remember, you don't burn the garlic. If you burn the garlic, you got to throw away the whole dish.
Yes.
Okay, our water is boiling for the rice, so I'm going to add it in there.
Yes.
And
just all right. So we just add the rice, and what you need to do is just make sure to stir it a little bit so that it doesn't.
Let it come back up to a boil.
Yeah.
And then what I usually do is put a cover on it and shut it off.
Yeah.
All right, now you can hear our garlic sizzling.
Yeah.
So I have it on low.
You have it on very low or even off.
And we're just going to keep stirring this for a couple of moments to infuse the olive oil with the garlic.
All right, looking good. So yeah, what we call it chi-chis and rice because we always call it chi-chi. Like it says on the can, or I don't even know this whole thing. But when people ask us what the hell is chi-chis and rice, we're like, it's just chickpeas.
Chickpeas and
chickpeas and rice. That's really it.
Another term people would know what chickpea is. It's hummus, ground up hummus. So a lot of different ethnic people use the chi-chis in different ways.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to be using a food mill, and many people probably have never seen this, but I have them in both sizes. And
Turn it around and spin it.
You can get them in kitchen stores. What this was before the food processor. This is what people would use to grind up something. So you would put your peas or your beans in here, or something that you wanted to come out kind of like a puree, and you would just keep grinding it into your pan. As I said, I also have a bigger one. Now this happens to be our family recipe with chickpeas. For some reason, This goes back to my grandmother's time, where her family really did not like the chickpeas whole. So what she would do is to grind it, and you're going to see what I'm going to do because I'm not getting rid of anything. I'm using everything. You can use either this mill, you can use a potato masher to just smash them up a little bit, because what that does, it also makes the whole mixture thicker and much more flavorful. You can use a food processor and just blend it. So you know that's.
But try not
to
blend it all the way, because you do want a couple of chickpeas still like half intact.
Yep.
Because it gives a nice texture.
If you don't have any of this stuff, a good old fork will work as well.
Yeah, just put it in a bowl or whatever and just smash, smash, smash.
Okay.
So, what we're going to do with this food mill.
Yep. Now, what you're also going to see is I'm going to pour this, and of course there's some liquid in with the chickpeas. But you're going to need extra liquid as you're grinding it. So that's why I have about a quart of water here next to me, so that I could keep adding some additional water as I'm grinding. So that's about a half a can right now.
Okay, yeah, so as you can see, the liquids from the bottom are going into the garlic, and we're gonna stir this in like that. And sometimes it can be a pain in the A and tough, but this is how we do it. This is how we roll.
It is, and as you can see,
this is how we mill.
I'm close to the camera right now, so I'm not getting my full potential of grinding.
Yeah, maybe I'll zoom out.
So as you can see, here's what basically the finished product looks like. There's also, see the grinds that have fallen into the pot. So what I'm going to do now is just take this and dump it in there. Okay, and then I'm going to take a little bit of extra water.
And just pour, and then there you go.
Okay.
And so that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to grind both cans.
I'm going to take.
We'll show you another one, but after that, then we'll just grind the other can.
And we'll show you the finished product in the can. Okay.
But yeah, you see how like it's grinding, and then the bottom it's like.
And of course, with a food processor, this would probably take 1 or 2 pulses.
Yeah, you don't. Like I said, you don't want to mix it like 100%, and make it just a mushad mush, because then I don't know. You just want to get the texture.
These dishes, and we're going to do some other ones like beans and macaroni in the future, lentils. This is really was a peasant food. It was something that stretched someone's meal along. We happen to be using rice this time, but you can also use chopped up pasta in this as well.
And for chickpeas, basically, for this recipe, you should probably just use chickpeas, because it's chi-chis and rice. I mean, you could probably do this with other beans and other hard kind of beans, but I've never done it that way.
Now, when we do our beans and macaroni, I'll show you a different way of making the whole broth thicken up very nicely. So as you can see, I'm almost done with this here. They're almost all ground. There'll be a couple that'll be half ground.
And that's fine. And
that's basically it.
All
and
right.
I'm going to grind the rest of it, and then we're going to come back. Okay, here we are. This is the consistency. As you can see, it's on the loose side, okay, but you can see the broken up chi-chis in here. And now I've turned my gas on.
Yeah, the heat is on.
Yep, and what we're going to do is to wait for this to come up to a boil.
Yeah.
And then we're going to add the rice to it.
Which should be about done. It takes, I guess if you're boiling it, and we did a cup, it takes about a half hour. So it's a good thing that you're doing it as you are preparing the chi-chis.
All right, I'm going to add a little bit of ground pepper.
Thank you, Pepper Girl. That is the exact amount of pepper.
And just a little bit of salt. If you remember, I don't cook with a heck of a lot of salt. So
there we go.
There we go.
And you season it. Now we just gotta kind of wait for the rice to boil. So we'll be back when the rice, well, not really boil, basically just finished cooking. So we will be back when the rice is finished.
Okay, here we are. We have our chi-chi mixture boiling.
Yum.
And as you can see, as it boils, it starts to get a little thicker also itself. Our rice is done.
Now, if you didn't want to use rice, what will we use?
You could actually use some cut up pasta.
Yep, like
this
we
is,
mentioned earlier.
One that is actually kind of like an egg noodle, and it's different lengths. This is a pound. You probably would not use a pound in here, but you're going to have to judge a little bit yourself. We're going to add the rice to this, and then that will cook for about another half hour. And you're going to see the consistency that you like. Some people like it a little bit more liquidy. Some people like their mixture a little thicker.
Yeah. So if
in
you
our
want
family,
it thicker,
we like it a little thicker. You could always add a little bit of extra water to it to make it thinner.
Yeah. If you want more like soupy, add more water. If you want kind of like more of a stew-like consistency, thicker, leave it alone. Again, we like it thicker.
Right,
So
and you're going to see the finished product, and then you'll be able to tell how you want to do it.
Yeah, if you're looking at it and you're like, that's too thick, I'll add extra water.
I'm not quite sure what to call. We've always called these cooked dishes.
Yeah.
Cooked dishes could be the Ceci's, beans and macaroni, which are pasta fagioli, pasta and peas and many other names of dishes that would stretch your dollar. All right, we're going to add the rice to this mixture now. And it's okay. I'm not draining it because whatever I pull up with the spoon, if there's a little bit of water in it, that's okay. That little bit of extra starch actually adds thickness to the mixture.
Yeah, so you could drain it a little bit if you wanted to. If you don't want to use the water, so let's say you made it in your rice cooker, you obviously wouldn't have any water, and that's fine too. I mean, we're just adding it because again, we like it thicker.
You could use a slotted spoon if you want less liquid into it. Okay. Okay, here we are with all the rice is in it.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we're using a 6-quart pan, so this is it's over half. So you're going to get quite a bit from this. We're going to let this cook about a half hour or so.
Yeah.
And we'll be ready.
Yeah, and when we're done, we'll show you the consistency of what it looks like. And again, this would be the point where you would want to add more water, or if you think it's if it's gonna be too thick.
Okay, here we are. This is our
been
finished
about a half hour
product, and as you can see how thick it got.
Yeah, lift it up a little. No, not the thing. You know, with the spoon. And yeah, you see how thick that is. Now, if you want it a little less thick, just you know, if you want it less thick or more thick. No, what am I thinking? Less thick than what we have it, then add extra water. Or you can even let it cook down a little more if you want more thick.
That's true. Now, as this would sit here and cool down, this would get a little bit thicker. Also, you do have to stir it periodically when it is cooking, because the rice and the chickpeas will stick to the bottom, so you don't want to have any kind of burn on there. So occasionally, you come by your stove and give it a nice a stir, and then just let it do its thing.
Okay, so here is the finished delicious thing. I don't want to put it too much because I don't even know if you can see that. Can you? Whatever.
Can you see it in there?
Can you see the Ceci's? It's yellow, but yeah. So it's steaming hot. It's very good.
You can see the steam.
Yeah. So what I like to do at the end is just sprinkle a little cheese on before I eat it, and that's really it. I mean, that's how I jazz it up. Now
Pete uses American cheese.
Yeah,
you can put, I guess,
can use American,
Parmesan if you like.
Whatever you really want.
Anything else, you can just try to see what. You
can jazz it up. Now, what were you gonna say?
One of the things on a cold night like this is a kind of a meal in itself. But if you wanted something to go along with it, you can make a nice grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh yeah, those are
good. Make a panini sandwich, an egg sandwich, to go along with it to add a little extra.
This is very good.
And
very, very good.
Warm you up on a cold
And the
winter's
nice thing
night.
about it is you get the nice texture from the rice and the The chickpeas, man, this is good. This will stretch your dollar totally. So is this it, or are we gonna?
Well, I got.
Bring in our little
We
guest.
have a little guest today that we call her sometimes Chickpea or Chi-Chi, and she's our youngest little kitty, and I'm going to show her to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, this isn't just.
And here she is. This is Chi-Chi.
This is her name is Chi.
Her name is Chi, but she has a million little names. So
Yeah.
we call her Chickpea and Rice because she's
Chi-Chi.
black and has some cream in her. And sometimes she watches us cook.
Yeah. So this has been Pete, or Kenshin1913, along with
Mom and
Chi. And we'll see you in the next Cooking with Kenshin1913.
Enjoy and happy eating.